just going to step over, so basically continue from where I left off last time. I didn't check. There's a lot of stuff going on my mind, so I don't think I checked to see if I fixed by uncommenting some parts of the code. So I'm going to do that now, probably. And then just step over with the debugger, try to see. Because last time I realized that what I was trying to solve was the icons first on the editor file dialog. So I'm gonna do that now. I think I have to run, but obviously I'm not really sure if I have to run first, like build the scene again, and then. But I don't think I have. I don't think that if is gonna fix. So it's probably something else. Yeah, I think after the stream I spent not so much time, but I did spend some time comparing. I was searching for the names here to see if I had the same buttons. So it must be something else because I'm pretty sure that I have this on the other code there. No. Might be because of this function. So even though the function is from the probably what I'm gonna do is just comment out the places there on the other one. There was a one place that I commented out and I forgot which one it is. It was something related to the editor. I want to see. So let me uncomment this and see what error do I get. Maybe it was this thing as well. There was something a line that I commented out on some parts, but I forgot what yeah, I think it was this one. Yeah, so it was this one because of the other function. That's why. What I can do is comment this out on the editor one and see if it's gonna fuck up the thing. I think this is probably just related to the folders and not the other stuff. The reason why is because of the file system doc. So I'm I'm gonna try to do this first. Back on this. I'm gonna see if it changes anything there. I should comment. I'm gonna comment all of them out. File again. So I'm gonna open the editor, then I'm gonna check to see if it changes anything on the editor one. Shows up when I click the open thing there. Also, I discovered this debugger here, which is very simple and is open source, and it is written on C++, or I think, or either C++ or C. I have the source code here. So now what I'm thinking about doing, I'm probably gonna do a variation, like multiple different approaches on the assembly parts. I think this is the source. Yeah, this is the source. So what I'm thinking about doing is going over the source because I'm really curious to know how they created this stuff here. Yeah, but probably it's not gonna be, because it looks like they are using a bunch of different libraries. But it's still gonna be interesting, I think, to see how they create the source. And what I'm thinking about doing is just like there's three different versions you can do. One is compiling with the assembly flag on the other project, the one that I'm building the examples. So one thing that I'm thinking about, because I want to study more the string class and the string name class, mainly the classes used for, I'm gonna go over the steps there on the, to study how they parse the files, how they read and write from the files, which is on the resource loader load function and resource saver save function. And I'm pretty sure that they use the string classes. So I'm gonna write down the classes involved in that process, and I'm going to see if it is possible to like simplify and just put the code related to those classes on this project here. Then create three different executables. I got these examples here from the Jason Turner video that I showed last time that I did stuff with assembly. But I didn't write all the variations because it's just too complex. So I just wrote these ones, and I'm thinking about just spending some time on these ones, which is probably going to be very hard as well to understand how it works. And I think I'm going to do this now here. So as far as I remember, if you do different executables, you create different executables, obviously. So just going to remove this and put this one here. And this should create two different executables. And then what I can do is open the, from here you can click on File, Open, and then select an executable is going to show the assembly. And you can step over the code, and you can also put breakpoints and change the code as well. So if I compile with the assembly flags on the CMake, I'm going to have the assembly source on the project. Then I can go over with this thing here to step over the code, and I can use the compiler on the website, and I can compare the three different versions. So I'm thinking it might be a good idea to study the classes on Godot using these methods, because then I can kill two birds with one stone. But it might be too hard in the beginning, because it might be better to do some stuff on assembly that I already know or already understand on C and C++ to make it easier. But I'm probably gonna spend much time using these methods. So it looks that it compiled. So I was gonna check this one. I think open scene. It still has the icons, so it must be something else, obviously. So what can I, like it's probably, so let me see if I can comment out. It might break other parts of the code, but the get editor icon, I think. The thing is that, like, I'm not really sure if it's using, I think cache should be only related to this class, so it should be using something else, I think. I'm gonna see that first, if I can find, but I'm pretty sure I already spent, hmm. Is the maybe is this stuff that I notification process? Hmm. Oh, sure. No, I have here. Hmm. Yeah, so it's probably related to something else. Item menu and icon. Also have this. Action content. And maybe it's easier to search for the actual buttons there. Like it should be. I can put a breakpoint on both of them. So if it was this, then it should be working because this function is, even though it says editor, is from the window. So I don't see why. Like, the only explanation that if this is the reason, then the explanation would be that the module is for the scene level. But I think that it's probably not. It's unlikely that this is the problem. Because then it would probably work this time and then fail on the actual game because the game is not built with the editor stuff. So I think it has to be something else. The reasons why it's not showing there. I also don't understand why it's not, like the color is not correct there. It should be working, so it's very weird. Huh. So let me see if I delete this. I don't know why it's not putting the color. is okay. So I guess it was just like a lag from the ID. So I'm gonna search for the pattern and find the button and then look all the stuff related to this. So the only things is just like the thing variation here. Oh, it might be because of this. I think it is because of this. So theme type variation is like this part of the theme is kind of confusing, but I think that once you set the style box for the general theme, then when you use this theme type variation, it's just gonna get from whatever theme you have. And I think that if the specific class you like doesn't have a custom theme, it's gonna get its theme from the parent node. So I think what happens is that it sets the general theme on the editor node, which is the editor theme class, and then all the other classes derive from that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen it's gonna be theme is like a singleton that it uses on the node to initialize on the constructor the thing. I forgot the name. So yeah, it's here, and I think it is here that initializes, and it is gonna be here. And then on this function, it calls another function, I think, that creates the style boxes. So I think on the end here, populate boxes. So I think, yeah, it generates the theme here, and it's probably gonna use this theme on the editor. So it sends the theme on the editor at some point, I don't remember where, which is this editor theme class. And on this theme, it sends the variations, I think. I think the reason why it's not showing there on mine is because what makes the icon is probably the type variation. And then when they set the type variation, it doesn't set on mine because the node that I have here doesn't have that thing. I think that's what's going on. So what I'm gonna try to do is to find, so I'm gonna search for this on the other. So I did this on the icon sidebar. Like I was studying the theme, the way that they do it to change the style of the slider or it's not slider, but it's basically the same thing there. The thing on the scroll container that's I wanted to decrease the width. So I think yeah, what I'm gonna do is search for the flat button there. And then I'm gonna see if I can initialize the theme on this one and then set in the same way that I did on the icon sidebar. I think like all I have to do is to create a style box and then you do the stuff there. I'm gonna have to copy the yeah, so I think that the way it generates is based on the texture. So there's different types of style boxes you can stat on the themes. So it's probably generating and getting the icon through the texture. But I'm not really sure if it's worth it to do this now. So like the problem is I have to think about the structure, but I think it probably it does make sense to yeah, but if I'm gonna reuse I have to spend more time studying the thing to understand how they do it. I set style box, so the theme is gonna be the theme that I use, and the style box is the one that they generate. Weird. Because I know that there is a style box that they do for uh, different types of style box have different types of functions. I think they use some functions that they define on this file as well to create some of the style boxes. I guess they are using so it has to be these ones, obviously. So style box flat, reconfig button. Hmm. Set type variation. So I think if the theme has the style box flat button, then if you set a type variation on the class, it's gonna use that one, the one that the theme has. That's probably what it's gonna. So I'm just gonna initialize the theme, and I'm gonna see if I can copy the way that they do it. So I first copy this. But the weird thing is it's creating an empty style box. There should be the style box texture. That's the thing that is kind of weird. So I'm not really sure if that's the place that it's creating, or if they, for that thing, they do it somewhere else. I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT, I think. Or maybe just look into the Godot documentation. Because I remember that this part of the theme is kind of confusing. Like the way that the order that they decided to, or that Godot's gonna decide how it does things. Because if it is with the setting type variation, then like should be somewhere else that they set. Let me see if I can find a place. Set type variation. Like here it just has buttons, so it doesn't have a flat button. So it should be somewhere else. So it can't be, it has to be that. That's the only one that makes sense. Yeah. Like I'm thinking that it's probably not here that it creates. Let me see this one. Just over. Hmm. This thing configuration happens before it calls the function there. Or just so let me go back. I'll copy this. So I'm pretty sure that before it initializes the styles, there's another function that is gonna call there that it passes the thing and then creates that configuration. So it should be here. Range shard styles. Unless it is not a texture, so it has to be something else. But then, like, so I'm thinking that it's probably somewhere else that it creates. It must be somewhere else because for to be an icon, it only makes sense that it's gonna be. I think it makes more sense that it is a texture. So maybe the variation is just the style. Obviously, I should have a point. So it must be this thing here. That's the only explanation. But the question is why it's not working on the other one. So I guess I have to step over to see. Because I'm pretty sure that I have this function there. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna put a breakpoint there and I'm gonna see where is it getting from. So I should put a breakpoint on both of them and then see what is happening. Actually, should be on there. Oh, I pressed uh, a 5 by mistake, by accident. Okay, so it's gonna be, what's the name there? Reload. The other one's gonna be icon. Yeah, so it must be because of the stuff here. This is just the cache. Team owner. So it generates the icon here. It might be something else, some other function that I removed instead of being just the icon. Team time. It must be something else. I'm just gonna press F5 because it's not getting from anything that should be different than the other one. Fuck, I just pressed F10 by mistake. I'm thinking it's probably not this, as if it was this, I think you would go on the branch that gets the custom thing or something like that. I don't see why. It might be because of when I run, yeah, when I'm checking just the thing, I'm running the game, not that's probably the reason why. So I think when I run the game, it doesn't initialize I just realized that when I press the play there, it's running another instance and it's running just the game, so it doesn't have the editor. So I think when I run through here, it gets, the window has the editor, editor icons type. But now I don't remember because I think that it didn't find anything as well for the editor icon. I'm pretty sure it didn't find anything. So here I think it was theme types, or yeah, it was editor icons. It was just one. It's basically the same thing. And here it didn't find anything there on the editor. So it got it from here. But maybe this one because I don't think I stepped into this. Hmm. So it must be on the thing. So the difference is the editor has the thing. P name. So I should search on the theme again for the reload name. Comma. Or step over again. So here's getting the. But maybe it's the same on the other one. Well, I think this is probably the difference. So on the other one, on the editor one, is getting the thing because it has The name has to be reload, I think. So I'm gonna search for this on the other file. I think was, where was it? This one. Yeah, so this is the thing probably. Hmm. But isn't the same thing here? I think the difference, no, they probably, so maybe sats before, but this is the, that's weird. Because here is getting the icon from the thing already. So I need to find where is sats the. It has to be somewhere else because it's not gonna set on the editor node, I think. Or you should have already the. I think you should probably step into again and get to these points on the editor one. You should check to see if it's different. And the problem is that I'm not gonna be able to know because I can't step over the game. You can only step over to the editor version. So even though they look the same when I'm stepping into, but I guess I'm gonna go over again, just see if it gets a type there. There is only gonna be difference when it's running the game version because then it doesn't build the editor, I think. But obviously at some point when it's building the editor and setting up the theme, it has to do something to register the icon. So I need to find the place where is initializing the icons for the editor thing for the first time. And then what I'm thinking about doing is finding the file and then seeing how they do it and then just copying the file into the assets folder that I created there. And then just changing the function. So it gets from that point instead of getting the editor icons thing. Maybe you could search for editor icons as well. And there's also no tooltip here. So maybe it is another function. Hmm. Also, this one exists. View items as list. So it must, since this one is there, it must be the icon. Yeah, I think it's not showing because it doesn't have icon, so it doesn't have a minimum size. Probably. It could be both the icon and the style, the type variation. Let me think about this. I'm gonna go over again just to check on the editor. Then I'll explore the other things. As I can go over this. Hmm. Yeah, so this might be related. So it's appending to the. Oh, hmm. No, the other function comes from the window. So let me think. So it has to be related to the setup here. Theme type. So I have to see when does it put. So I think that the icon is gonna be on this map and it's gonna be on the editor icons and the p name is gonna be reload for the first example there that I'm looking at. So maybe I should look for here. And this only has get icon. So icon map should probably be from the theme class. Yeah. So it has to be here. So since the icon is set icon. The thing is, why would like, it's not explicitly setting there's something else going on. And here is already getting the icon. That's the thing that is weird. I must set the only explanation that is that it sets the icon before. Because like here is using another icon to set these icons here. So I think is when it sets the default thing, which is the thing that is used. I should look into the default thing. No, I don't think there's gonna be any flat menu or any flat button here. Or reload here. So it must be this thing here. Let me see. But it's on a different theme. So the name is this, but it's on a different theme type. So the theme type has to be editor icons. But I guess this is the one that it uses as defaults. So that's probably the one that I'm using there, I think. I already searched for flat button. Hmm. Oh, so it's setting the icon. Hmm. Probably is like it should be like as is the fourth argument here. So an icon. I should see first again the place there. I don't think it's gonna be here. It's not gonna be anything because I already searched the pattern and it doesn't have anything. So Probably should go. Yeah, I'm gonna go again on the editor file dialog and then see if I step into there. If it's gonna get the default one or if it's gonna get the another one. I think probably the best thing to do is to spend time on the editor file dialog. Just probably it is that place that is getting the icon from. So I have to understand how it works, and then I can think about a place to search to see when it's gonna set that icon. Refresh. I'm confusing the type variation with the icon. So the icon comes from the reload. So it should be the reload on the editor thing. So it should be there, I think. So reload. I forgot the place that I was seeing before. I think it was on the editor thing, maybe. Because if it's not setting here, it doesn't make sense. Well, I think it has to, maybe for search, the problem is gonna be like a lot of different places. Maybe if I search for this. Actually, if I search this, stats. Hmm. So how is that possible? So the only explanation would be a variable. So it's setting with a variable, not the name explicitly. Or it doesn't have the type. I think it's either that or it doesn't have the type. Oh, this is on the BM. Did I skip the? Oh, I think I removed. So I'm gonna have to put the breakpoint again. Yeah, I removed because it was stopping too much. So let me run again. It's the wrong place here. pretty sure it's not gonna find there. So it should be here. So it's getting the fallback one as well. So it should be from somewhere else, the problem. I guess it's even easier if I just comment out. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm going to comment out the one on the editor. I think it must be some function or something. Maybe if I go on the notification on the editor file dialog, it's gonna be easier. But the thing that is weird is like, why would they put this here if it's not getting, if it's getting the default one? That's what doesn't make any sense. I guess it initializes here on the thing. So if it doesn't have, then it initializes. So it's caching the. So it creates the thing. I'm gonna do that just to see what happens. So if I comment this out, what is gonna happen? I'm gonna try like this first, and then maybe I just comment, leave the other one and comment it. So I'm thinking, I remember, like I don't remember how it works very well, but I do remember there's something to do with the way that it's gonna update the themes. I think that it's based on the tree structure, but I don't remember exactly like how it works. But I think that the highest node, so like if the theme doesn't have, if you don't set the theme for a node, it's gonna get its theme from the highest node that has a theme, or for like the closest node on the tree hierarchy that has a theme. So I'm thinking that it might be something to do with this. That's like it sets the theme type editor icons there when you call this function on the map there on the window, and then because it sets the theme at some other place based on the editor icons thing, then it's gonna work or something like that. Because it looks like it is not getting a special theme. So now it doesn't. So it has to be the thing. So it is that line. So the only explanation is the stuff that I was talking about. There's something else going on. Let's get into fallback here. So I guess I have to clarify how does the editor sets the thing. Because this was something that was confusing as well. I was trying to figure out the icon sidebar stuff that I didn't understand very well. Like, I found the place there where it initializes, but I didn't understand where, at what point does it set the actual thing. So I guess I'm gonna try to figure this out now. Because I do think it probably sets, let me see the function there. Because here you initialize the editor thing, here. So, yeah, I think that it doesn't go here. This is only if you have a custom thing on the settings. So it returns the theme here. But it doesn't do anything later. This. I don't think that this is it. As far as I remember, there isn't anything set in the theme here. You're just using the theme to update some values of the things here. Let me see on the main if it's gonna do anything. No, I don't think it does anything. So it has to be inside of the function somehow is setting something. So if it's not from here and not from the constructor, it has to be, or it doesn't, but not setting would be weird. I do remember there is something on the editor node on the notification that I think updates the theme or something like that. Because here it doesn't look like it has anything. It doesn't do anything with the theme here. Just returning. Editor copy icons. So it must be this function here. Oh, it's on a different file. So I think it's probably this. So it must be creating with this stuff here. I, Obviously I can put the breakpoints there. Just gonna look into this. Let's see if it has flats. So, must be reload maybe. Ah, here it is. So I want to put so I'm thinking it's gonna be either one of these functions here. And then I have to see. It's kind of annoying, but I'm gonna copy the values and then transfer the function, I think. So it creates the image from. I don't think it has. I do know there are some SVGs there, so that's why I was thinking that it's probably an image. An image loader SVG. So if there is, so this file is generated on build time. I do remember seeing something like this some time ago when I was studying something else. So, like obviously what I think is happening is that is using Python to build this from the SVG icons. So editor icons. I think what is easier to do, reload, it's probably this one. Let me see if I can find the website to see. Yeah, here it is. So this is the file. So I think it's gonna be easier if I just get the files from the SVGs. Yeah, get the icons. I'm gonna spend some time now. So I'm probably gonna do this off stream. I'm gonna spend some time trying to understand how they. So usually when you have these files, it's gonna be a Python script. That's it's probably this one. It generates on build time. So what I imagine is happening is that they're looping over the icons folder. I guess I can do the same thing on the other project. We just copy the code here and do the same thing that they did. Usually right. And so this is another file. Let's see here. I can look into this. So obviously it's gonna be a Python file. Also, this is inside of the icons folder. Interesting. I think. Yeah, it is inside of the icons folder. So I have like two options. So probably the reason why they did this is so it's faster, I think. That's the only thing that makes sense. What's the name of the... So this is gonna be the function that gets the... Also, it's probably Unicode. Yeah, it's transferring the SVG to Unicode, I think. I guess I can look. I can... Hmm. Interesting. So one option would be to just copy the files that they use there for the icons and then just use the resource loader and change the function so that I'm using that on the other one. And the other option is just copy the way that they do the script here and generate the same thing on the one that I have there. So there's another Python script that is gonna call this one, probably the Teams build. It's gonna pass the source. The source is probably the file. So I think what is happening is that it's looping over the folder and then it's passing each file. Then each file becomes the source here, and then here it reads the lines. Or it passes it opens the file somewhere else and then passes the string to this function. See also, yeah, so it comes from this file here. Default theme icons builder. It's running from here. I think this is too annoying to do, to be honest. So probably what I'm gonna do is just copy the... I think the reason, obviously if they did this, then there's probably a reason. So I think that the reason is probably that it is faster or something. So icon sources is being created here. So I guess I think this just, it doesn't run the function immediately probably. It's very confusing. But I think what it's doing is here, so glob is gonna get all the SVG files on the folder. So it's gonna get all the SVG files here. 13. Also, I think it calls here. Yeah, so the second argument that it passes there should be these icon sources. So the target's the name of the file. Uh, like this is the only thing that makes sense. The y would be target 0. I guess it is correct. I guess it's because it's passing on a... No. I don't know why it passes the 0 there. Index 0. Probably what is happening is the destination is going to be the file there. That is this file here, and the source is going to be the icon sources here, which is just generating a giant string with all the files. With the yeah, the string from all the files puts here. But I still don't understand why it accesses the 0 index here. Because in Python we should pass the whole thing, I think. So obviously what I can do is print, just see what it is. But I'm pretty sure that it is what I'm saying. So you're just looping over the files. Yeah, so it writes the binary to this icon string. And then, yeah, so this is the thing that is translating there into this hex here. So what it's doing is basically just writing the, probably, I think it's Unicode. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. So B is SVG read 1. So it's reading character by character, I think. So I'm gonna ask what happens. I don't remember. I think that this probably inverts the thing. So there is so on this thing here, there's a weird thing that's it's just because of the indiness, but these kinds of things are very confusing. But like the way you read on one place is different than the way the addresses, like you have to invert them when you read them here on the memory. And I think it's because of the indiness of the thing. So it might be something similar that is happening there. So you have to invert the thing. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. hexadecimal string representation of the byte value. Treats the integer value, assuming B is a single character string. I guess I can just look. Moves the 0x prefix. Oh, okay. I guess yeah, this is gonna get the. It's gonna go from. Like the 2 dots. I remember it gets everything like the remainder. So I think that for reversing is the other way. No, like you're slicing the string using that. But I don't remember like the nuances. Yeah, so it's translating to Unicode. So it just writes everything on a Unicode thing and it probably separates them with the null character. So, and the spaces are done with tab. So when he writes this, he probably writes on the Unicode as well. Maybe not. And doesn't have anything. So it must be in the Unicode. I think I'm gonna stop streaming here. I'm gonna think about what to do. So either I'm going to try to implement the same thing that I did here. So just copy the way that they did the Python stuff. Put this on the put the script on the folder that I created there for my icons, and then just copy the icons that they are using for the file dialog. Then I can just I'm gonna replace the functions there that instead of getting the icon from the editor type, I create another function to read from the whatever file I generate. So I think what is happening is that they're generating all the icons here, and they generate based on the file that they generate on build time here, and this is gonna populate the. This is gonna create the icons on the thing probably. Yeah, it sets the icon here, and this is gonna be editor icons. So when it sets here, it caches on the thing type here. And so this is what is happening. I'm 100% sure that that's what's going on. So the thing type is gonna be editor icons, and then it's gonna cache on the map, and that's the reason why when it gets from the editor file dialog is gonna access the icon that it generated there, but when I try to get the same one, it doesn't have, because the thing that I'm using there doesn't have the icons. Like I don't know for it's not very clear to me the other parts. Like how does this theme how is this theme connected with the editor theme if it doesn't set the editor theme anymore? But obviously there must have an explanation here. I don't remember how I got to this one. Oh, it's here. So theme. Oh, so this is the thing that it generates here. So this thing I don't understand very well. Like how does at what point does the editor see if ChatGPT knows? So it's on the ready. Let me see. I do remember there is some stuff on the notification related to the thing. So it must be on this part here. I do remember that I looked into this, but I didn't understand very well. And because I solved the other stuff that I was thinking about, I decided to not uh, worry about it. But yeah, probably it is a setting here. But I'm not really sure how it connects both. So probably when he initializes the types there, or when he calls those functions on the constructor, is probably pushing somewhere. Uh, editor team manager. Hmm. So this is the same function, I think. Yeah, it's the same function that it calls there on the constructor. So I think that this clears my doubt. It is kind of weird that it does, like, it calls the function on the constructor and then it calls again there. So if it's only setting the thing there, then why does it call? I think I should do something with caching or something like that. Getting contacts. No contacts. Or it might be because of like if you have if you set the settings differently, then there's something, and it makes sense that like there must be a reason, obviously. It's not very clear to me. Get editor thing. Oh, so it's initializing as a variable, I think, on the constructor. So because it uses there, initialize as a variable, I think that makes sense. So probably what is happening is on the constructor, initialize the variable, and then somewhere on these functions, probably on the preview thing, or either on the preview or maybe both, since it's getting from here, is gonna initialize here. I think that's what's gonna. Let's see, if it doesn't create here, it's gonna get the default only. It's gonna set here. Set themes, editor themes. This one is on the notification that is gonna call at some point. Yeah, notification enter 3. It passes through here. Yes, so this is gonna be false. Oh, so yeah, it's confusing because it is the variable, so it's a member variable of the thing. So it doesn't generate twice. It generates the first time. Only this is probably only if you wanna generate the theme again. So maybe if you are using a custom theme, or if you change themes, it's gonna call this function again, and then it's gonna pass false here, and then it's gonna because it updates the member variable, it's gonna call this again, should generate the thing with another thing. I think that's what it's gonna. Yeah, so that makes sense. So I'm pretty sure now that the reason why the icons are not showing is because of the way that it generates there. And I'm gonna have to. So the easy approach is just copy the files and then use resource loader and then set the thing using the style box. And the other approach is to copy the whole way that they do there to generate the string with the Unicode characters, and then basically just copy the function that they use as well. Like it's kind of because the other thing I'm not sure what to do now is because I'm probably gonna think about generating things later as well, like general themes. So I'm not, because like another approach is to like create the theme stuff now and then generate in the same way that they do, and then on the other class just use the thing that I generate that way. So like create my own version of the editor icons and basically just copy the way that they do it and just like change so that I use my stuff instead. So like I wouldn't copy everything. I would just copy like the structure and the stuff that I'm gonna use now. And then as I put more assets and more stuff, then like I would create there, and then I would use that one on the class. Because the problem is if I set now on the class and like on this way, it's gonna be like a separate thing. Not sure if that's clear. I don't want to think about things now. That's the problem. So probably what I'm gonna do is just I'm probably gonna copy the way that they do it, and then just change so that I'm able to get the. Yeah, I have to spend more time looking into the way that they do it there, and then see if I can. I'm probably gonna do it the same way that they do it, because then it's gonna be like something that I can reuse for the other time. So it's probably better to get this out of the way now, and then I just change the function there so that. But yeah, I'm gonna probably create. So just like I was saying before, last time that I streamed, I'm gonna put the theme stuff here. So what I'm gonna do is just create another function. So I'm gonna create another function, another class, and then I'm gonna get the stuff that they did there with the editor thing. So I can create I'm gonna think about a name, and then I create a class that is basically the same, and then yeah, I use that class first. So I'm gonna create the class, but I'm probably gonna do it on this class here using a function instead. So I have to see, because I don't wanna use only one. Like the thing is like it's not very clear how to couple the thing. Because there obviously they're doing inside of the constructor, but on my case I'm gonna build the thing using a function. So I could initialize like create the class with the thing, then initialize the thing on the function, and then set on the roots. Maybe this is the best approach to do now. I think that probably this is worth doing. Then on the functions I would use, but that's the problem I think. I have to think about a generic way to. I have to think about a logic that I can put here that allows me to select the icons from the thing if I'm using that thing, or select or not default to the fallback items and use the editor icons instead. So the editor icons have to be the default for the stuff that I'm gonna do on this class here, and then I have to do the other thing because I'm probably not gonna use this only on this thing that I'm building now. I think I'm gonna do both. So I'm gonna set everything up. So the way that they link things is based on the map. That's what I have to think. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest way possible actually would be just to initialize the editor thing. I should try that first actually. So try initializing. I'm gonna do this first. So on the function there that creates the scene, I'm going to initialize I'm just gonna copy the way that they initialize the editor thing. So I include the files there as well and initialize the thing here. And then on the navbar, I can set the thing. Oh, that's the other thing that I have to see. I have to see if it's gonna cache or not. So I guess I'm gonna do it inside of the app. I'm gonna test first outside to see if it's gonna cache the thing or not. Because obviously I'm gonna be building here, so it has to save that to the file. And I'm not really sure if it saves themes, because I'm not really sure if the theme is gonna be a property. But I think it's gonna be. So I'm gonna try here first. So it's here. So initialize the editor theme here, then set the theme of this node should be oh, it's not this one. Yeah, this node here. And then see if the icons work. Then after I do this, I'm going to think about the other, like how to do this here. And the way that I'm thinking about doing the file dialog is gonna be, so I think that the best way to do it is just like you connect, like you need to set a theme on the class because that's how it's gonna look for it. So yeah. I can make it a default thing on the constructor of this class. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I make a default theme on this one, and then I create another function that sets the theme, and then I don't call this stuff anymore. So instead of using this function, I just I'm gonna create other thing and then create another type variation. Just copy the stuff that they do, create another type variation, and then create another function. I just call this here. You can create another function on the window class as well. True. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna think about which way to go with. Next time I'm just gonna continue to follow the steps that I have there. So see you then.